Hi again, everyone, with Charles. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On third down, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Browns send out their punter now. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10.
Here we go. 1, 9.
He'll drop to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle. Boxes is defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call. I'd say that qualifies as a pretty darn good opening series. Get them into third and long, get them out of their comfort zone, and guess what? Get your crowd into it early, too.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over first and 10. heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Come on, let's go.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Agba in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 88 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
Yeah, a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
To throw here. Looking deep downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act in this first quarter. A look up to the scoreboard as time has run out. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reggie Ragland coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do? He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And some room to roam now. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. it now out of the gun. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Let's go. 1, 9. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Come on, let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this will be taken at the 13. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down, Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
On 1st down, Wilson. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a gain of 9 yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Out of the the gun. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Come on, let's go.
They're going to look to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
All right, I need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up second down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw on third down, Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scouted.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Space to run past the 20. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Second down, 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on,
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one is right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in a mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th.
Flex round. Flex round. Let's go. 1-9. Flex round. Flex round.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Fresh set of downs here.
Flex round. Here we go. Brand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Back to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Here we go. Brand 38.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's go. Brand 38.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. Touchdown, Vikings! Ladarius Green, his first touchdown on the year. And if the Vikings can take care of business on the extra point, they will have the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it in with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch.
Corey Coleman. He finds Coleman. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Here's Wilson to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed, near the goal line, on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And now here's a carry heading left. Finding room inside the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth.